clear. In Singapore, there are going to be roadblocks to ministers meeting with civil society. And that I think was what Raymond was trying to address in a rather delicate way earlier on. You know, that in order for some groups, e.g. Marua, to gain access to people in government, it may be necessary to say that, look, you know, if other groups want to do slightly more forceful stuff out there, Marua can support you in spirit but cannot quite sign on, because it might then be difficult on another day to arrange a meeting with the senior civil servants or bureaucrats. So maybe it is good that there are different groups, each specializing, each positioning themselves slightly differently in order to maximize what they are doing in their area. So yeah, so I think it would be nice if the minister were to say, okay, you know, arrange a meeting and I'll meet with all CSOs. But I think in the initial stages at least, it may well be that a group like Marua collects some information from the CSOs through informal meetings and through contacts, and brings them to whatever private meetings they have with the powers that be. That may be how it's going to work, but we'll have to see by trial and error.
Current model, in the three groups, there's one group that's distinct, you know, and I think they're doing their own thing. There are two groups that are looking quite similar in the structure, in the approaches and all that, and it makes common sense for us to work together. It is on that same premise that all the overtures have been done at infinitum until it's almost sooner or later it's going to be begging, I'm not willing to go there, right? And I think where the structures are concerned, the very first meeting, I already shared with everyone openly what's our structure, how are we going to go on with this job, how are we going to drill down. And so the structures duplicated is good, but also I think we need to come together. Just to reiterate a bit on the point raised by Alex, I think we live in Singapore and that's our reality. You know, the state very conveniently has made Think Centre into a political society. It is, for the longest time, in my own personal discussions with Think Centre, I have said, if you think this is a sabotage by the state, fight it. You have to fight it. It's not right what the state has done. This is a very clever way of the state giving an identity where it's not appropriate. So, because of that, we feel it is very hard for us to align with a political society. But we are more than happy to have discussions and share information and all the rest of it. And we hope we will soon arrive at that stage, because whatever appeals that can go out has gone out. This has gone into a database where they would have received information about this forum. But something we need to improve on, and I admit is an oversight. We have volunteers at Secretariat that I think we did not send all our documents to the various groups. So I think that one we have to be more mindful of from here on. Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, and this is not to be pessimistic again, but are the officials that you speak to, government officials, is it going to be a problem for them? Is it going to be problematic for your group to do consultation with the other groups, or at least in discussion? Will it be counterproductive?
Well, if I can take that. We don't report to the ministries, we don't seek their prior approval, we keep them informed. And we want to have dialogue with them. But I think we have a very clear idea of how we want to operate, inclusiveness and all those things. And if I personally, I don't speak for my work, but for me, if MHA tells us that we'll speak to you only if you never ever talk to SG Human Rights, I think that's not honest. I think that's whoever we want to speak to. But when we go and talk to them, we'll present what Marula thinks, right? And if we agree with what you shared with us, we will say, we'll discuss this with this other group, actually human rights. We agree with them, and we're presenting it to you. So I don't think I would decline to be part of a process where I'm told who I can or cannot talk to. I think it's as simple as that.
And it's a good opportunity. I don't mean must be careful. This is not patronizing or anything. Don't look at it that way. That I think groups that do a lot of good work on the outside, but I think there is a way to say this actually are the viewpoints of another group, and slowly mindsets will change. Because our government has got a rock solid mindset. I mean, I was like Alex. Alex has made it a point that he does not put his name on our official documents, and yet he organized this forum, right? Because he feels he is advocating for people like us that still does not gain any recognition in the state. He feels by aligning so openly like this, it will jeopardize work for our work. We appreciate that. We also appreciate his total understanding on how we work together. And it is, and yet somewhere along the line, we will have to say, oh, but Alex is part of our group.